What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another video, and today let's take a look at Metropolis Ark 5. This is the last arc in the series, and I think it's a bittersweet moment for a lot of us who are fans of the Metropolis Ark series. When they started on this probably in 2011 or 2012 or something, it's been a journey, and it's been really nice to see the series kind of wrapped up. I'll be totally honest, I expected the series to go all the way to like 10 or something. But I totally understand, Orchestral Tools probably wants to go on to a different journey, a different path. And so it's nice to see a series getting a fitting end with number 5. And yeah, just in general, we're going to be taking a look at the patch listing, seeing what the sounds go, how they feel like, and what they play like. And in case you're interested in the intro price, it's 249 euros plus VAT. The regular price will be 449 in a couple of weeks. And so, yeah, it basically comes with these different sections. So we have strings, we have brass and woodwinds, no percussion in this one in particular. And then we have some choir samples, analog synths, and you also have stabs, glissandi, crescendo swells, and rips. So a whole bunch of really cool stuff for cinematic trailer purposes. And that's kind of the whole point of this library, is to wrap it all up, but stay super intense and true to the Ark sound, So before we really get into it and kind of play through the patches, I want to give you my sample library buyer's guide in case you don't have it yet. And it's basically a guide that puts together all of the sample libraries that I like to use on a regular basis. I'm going over stuff like strings, woodwinds, brass, and percussion, of course, but also other libraries like piano, jazz libraries, ethnic libraries, a whole bunch of stuff that people have asked me about in the past. I just wanted to put that all in one simple guide and give it to you for free as a gift for watching this video. So if you click the link in the box below, it'll take you straight there. You can download it right away. And again, it's my thank you to you for checking out this video today. So without further ado, let's kind of dive in. I'm going to open up Sign here so you can see this is what it looks like. And then if we go down to Metropolis Ark 5, this is the folder structure. So we have all the different sections: strings, woodwinds, brass, no percussion, as we said, and then there's choirs, blends, and synths. So blends are essentially just combining different orchestral sections together, and then the synths, of course, are just analog synths that I believe they've recorded now for the first time. So it's nice to see them venture into a little bit of sound design. Without further ado, let's kind of start by playing with the strings. I've pulled up some of the patches here. We can hear what they sound like, and then you can kind of decide for yourself afterwards whether you think this library is kind of a good fit for you or not. So let's kind of dive in. All right, so definitely a lot of innovation here in terms of the material that they're sampling. So I don't think we've seen like glissandi effects and like Shepard tones and analog synths, from OT before. So it's really cool that they're kind of venturing into the more sound design area of things, more specifically catered towards like the trailer stuff, with all the heavy with all the glissandi and all those effects and stuff, and building all those tension moments, really scoring for media type of thing, I would assume. For me personally, I think I would mainly use, again, the tonal stuff. I just love the quality of sound from the samples themselves, and just the fact that they still have a legato, and the fact that they have these blends as well, kind of similar to Metropolis Ark 4, is really, really nice. For me, though, Sign is kind of a funny thing. I kind of have a slight love-hate relationship with it right now, just because there's a couple things that niggle me about Sign. As of this recording anyway, the player still crashes my Logic sessions more often than not. And so even when trying to record this review, I think Sign crashed maybe 4 or 5 times when I was trying to play the string parts. And so I kind of had to, cut and paste stuff together, right, just to fix that. But that's kind of one of the main things. And it's very possible that, with a more updated version, it would be completely stable. But that's one of the reasons why I'm still using the majority of my libraries on Context right now, because it's been super stable for me. And it only has crashed my system maybe 2 or 3 times in the past 5-6 years I've been using it. But Sign has crashed me maybe once or twice every time I've used it so far. So just hoping that there's an update that kind of fixes that. And another thing, though, that's more of a workflow thing, is that I don't like the fact that, when I'm kind of scrolling over to look at different microphone positions, it's very, very easy to like turn the volumes up and down of individual instruments just by scrolling your mouse. And for some reason, I'm not. Oh, there we go. So there's one instance right there. You can see I kind of scrolled over, and as soon as I hit the spawn microphone, the volume went all the way down. And it's really weird. Like sometimes I'll scroll over, and then suddenly I see the microphone level kind of jumping up and down. And I know it's some sort of mouse activity I'm doing that's triggering that. And I wish that wasn't in there, because I would like to be able to just drag it up and down myself manually without having Sign do it by itself when it's noticing my mouse movements. Right there. You see the analog sense kind of jumped up a little bit there. And then finally, another thing is the microphone positions. The MIDI channels. When I scroll over the numbers, sometimes they kind of change the channels like this. You can see I'm scrolling right now on a single number and it's changing. And so that makes it very easy to accidentally change my MIDI channels, and then I have to go back in and reassign them one by one. And I don't know if there's a way to turn off that functionality. For me, it's just not something that I would personally use. So it kind of distracts me a little bit and disrupts my workflow a bit. But other than that, Sign has been getting more stable over the years, though. I think when I was first using it, it crashed even upon opening the plugin. So now I can load instruments in, and for the most part, it's okay. But just sometimes when I'm trying to play some instruments, it'll just crash automatically, and it has to rely on Logic's automatic backup. But in terms of the pros, I think the overall interface looks super clean. I like how it's more or less easily laid out, So you have the channels here, you have them outputted to the individual channels in your DAW. Then you have the performance, where you can load up the articulations and see exactly what articulation is being played right here. You can do polymapping if you want to, which I've never used myself. Mixer window, of course. You can trigger the different microphone positions now by clicking on the names, which is nice, by saving RAM if you want to, and then you can solo and mute accordingly as well. And then options, store, licenses, that's where you go through and actually buy your samples and stuff like that. So yeah, again, kind of a love-hate relationship with Sight right now, but I'm just hoping that in the future, when we get some more upgrades, that Logic will be more stable with Sign. At the moment, I'm only using Sign occasionally for maybe 1 or 2 instruments. I think the library I use the most is LA Sessions right now, because it's such a unique library and I really enjoy it. And Talent, of course, is really beautiful with those choirs, just gorgeous. And so yeah, I've kind of cleaned up my my template a little bit, or I could say my default palette of sounds, and streamlining my workflow. And I'll probably do more videos in the new years talking about the libraries that I'm like getting rid of and libraries that I'm keeping and why I'm doing that. So hopefully that gives you an idea of Metropolis Ark 5. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you don't have my sample library buyer's guide yet, make sure you download it. It's totally free. And again, it goes over my personal recommendations for the libraries that I use on a regular basis. Includes all the orchestral stuff, but also sound design, piano, jazz, ethnic libraries, all of that combined into one resource, totally free. Just click the link below, it'll take you straight there. And again, it's my thank you to you for checking out this video today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you then in the next one. Bye-bye.